Hi everyone, and today I'll be showing you how to add a hotspot anywhere around the map. For the example, I will be doing a trainer, but you can do like a battleground, a workshop. You could probably also even like add like another dojo somewhere if you wanted to. But so pretty much all you want to do to start is if you want somewhere out of this zone, what you can do is you can come into world map. You mean the world map generated scene. So this is an assets, scenes, world map, and then scenery, and then you just open up this one. And now here, what you want to do is you want to go to world map, scenery, and then in here, you want to find sector clouding, and you just want to turn that off. So now you can see the whole map everywhere. As you can see, I've already done this over here. I'm just gonna. So we're gonna have a trainer. So you want to find one that's closest to wherever you want to do. And if you want like it to be like, in the water, but like not like underwater, like on the water, you want to copy like one of those. While underwater, you can like copy one of these over here and like just drag it wherever you want. But so I want to copy this train hut. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press Control D to duplicate it, and we're just gonna drag it right down here because this is a pretty nifty spot for what I think. There's a hotspot right here for a battleground, so we're just gonna keep that in mind while we're placing this down. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this hotspot 002 underscore 02. And why is that? Because if we check the hotspots, see there's a 02 right here, and I want it to become off of this one. So now, we're gonna set this up is we're gonna select our hotspot again, which to be clear, when I say select the hotspot, I mean the game object with the hotspot world map view on it. So now we're gonna change the name ID. So you could, so you want to change it to the name of the balancing data in the hotspot balancing data. But I don't feel like making a balancing data for this for now, so we just do hotspot underscore 15 trainer hut. Now we don't really need to touch anything else on this for now, except for the previous hotspot. So I believe this is where the birds will come from. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the battleground. We're gonna just drag that right in there. Then we're gonna get rid of the outgoing hotspots because we're not gonna have anything coming out of here. So now we're gonna make a path. So there's two ways you can do this. You could either come to rage spline, frugal, rage spline, prefabs, and then like like a blob. And then use this to make your path. But that doesn't work sometimes, so I just wouldn't recommend it. How I would recommend to do it is I would take any path from the game, okay, duplicate it, and then name this whatever you want. And then here, something heroic added is you can come and do create new rage spline, and then you can just drag it like that. And if you want to see how this will look, in game, we can take the proxy for the battleground and you just enable it, and this is how it looks. So this looks kind of bad, so I'm gonna move it until it looks pretty like that. Okay, so now this is how it look. We're gonna go back to our hotspot, which is right here, and then we're gonna take our path, which is right here. Now, how I would actually do this is I would put this hotspot into the zone 1. Okay, and then I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit. So we can see, when I turn this, it kind of like, well, it changes it a little bit. Let's say I wanted this to have a bit more of a single at the end. That doesn't seem to be going to happen, but it could have been happening. So how I recommend this is just play around for the rage splines for a little bit. Figure out how you want this path to look. And you can change these however you want. You can make it come out the side, the top, the bottom if you want. Which looks kind of strange. I wouldn't recommend doing that if the hotspot is quite literally above. To add paths like nodes to the rage spline, just like click on anywhere with the mesh, and it's a bit weird. You'll get it eventually, and then you have another point, in which you can edit again. Which this will change how your curve can look. If you want more, again, just double click on a path until it works like that. And we have another node right here. We can have, be a bit more like boxy. If we do this, we can create a 90-degree angle. I would personally not do that though. I would, for something like this where you can use a direct path, you can have 3, but I think 2 just looks better here. And oh yeah, also to remove nodes, you can just click delete button and that'll do it for you. I think that looks pretty decent. Now we need to finish actually making this work, so we're gonna turn this proxy back off because we don't want that to show up always. Well, it will always be showing, but typically for battlegrounds you want them to be disabled. So now I'm gonna pick the hotspot which we want to unlock it, which I would say the one after Pig Prison will unlock this. Now we're gonna add it in the outgoing hotspots list. We're gonna add an element, and we're gonna drag and drop our hotspot into the new one. So now when we beat this hotspot, you unlock this one, but the birds will have to go through 002 to get here. So pretty much the previous hotspot is the one the birds have to go to before they can get here. And then whatever you set, whichever hotspot you put this one in as an outgoing hotspot, this is the one that will unlock the hotspot. So if it's like a battleground, you won't be able to go to it if the battleground is being completed. Otherwise, so long as the hotspot is unlocked, all the outgoing hotspots are also unlocked. So I need to actually, so we're gonna save the world map now, and we're gonna come to scenes, and then go to content loader, and you're gonna load the game. Here I have a save. Let me turn down the game volume for you. I have a save right here where you just beat Chuck. Oh yeah, so and then you can see, even though we beat this hotspot, we can't go to this yet. Would you come here? We'll see a little bit of the new content for Elemental, but we will just ignore this. I have a cheat menu here that should work. Kill all pigs. There we go. So now, because you don't get to see what those guys do yet, but we will just skip this level. And now we can see we can go to the hotspot. Okay, so if we come over here, this is a bug with my decomp. You probably won't end up with this, because if we do come over here, you can see that they are actually there. It's just the game messing up. I don't know why that happens, but it does happen. But you can see if I turn off the body, we can see it. So for whatever reason, it just rendered behind that. But yeah, so this is how you add a hotspot to the world map.